Hunter from WHS Real Estate. Jody was mentioning you're big into golf, and I wanted to show you some stuff since I've played every course in town. Big picture, you got Summerlin over here. This is where you have the most of the golf courses you'll probably be interested in. And then you have a few up here in North Las Vegas. The North Las Vegas ones offer a little bit more value than the Summerlin ones, but overall, the greens and some of the conditioning over in Summerlin are probably better, but it costs different. One big thing when you're looking stuff up is locals don't pay the same rates that you're seeing online. So generally speaking, like Aliante, which is one of the main places you're looking, it'll be 35 to 45 for locals, where they're probably advertising 80 to 100 for people that are visiting. Big picture with Aliante, faces straight to the mountains. It's nice and inexpensive. They have a full driving range and then a separate chipping and putting area, but it's more like a community or like local golf course type setup. They do serve food on occasion there in the little tiny clubhouse, but it's not private. It's totally public. It's owned by the city. Um, and it's a nice place. It's just maybe the greens and the condition aren't that great. And you have houses on both sides, so sometimes if you take a friend over there that's no good, you can get into trouble. Anywho, kind of bringing us to the next area, down here in Summerlin is where you have quite a ton of stuff. So Sun City is right here. This is where you have the Highland Falls course and the Palm Valley golf course are where you're basically looking to live right now. I have not actually ever played those courses because they're kind of small community ones, and there's too many nice places in Summerlin to make me care really about going to that one. Just to kind of start off here, you've got TPC Las Vegas, which is right off of Town Center Drive near the JW Marriott. Very, very nice, difficult course. It's set up just like most of your TPC courses with a very, very nice practice area and then 18 holes. It's a little bit of target golf, so it's kind of difficult, a little bit more expensive. Has a little bit of water. Down here in the west side of 215, you have Arroyo and Bears Best. Bears Best is really nice. It's 18 holes, all put together to mimic some of his famous holes. It's right up against the mountains, and it goes through a super high-end, multi-million-dollar neighborhood over here called the Ridges. But that place is usually 75 for locals, depending on the time of day. And then a little bit further to the southeast, you have Sienna. That one's a much tighter golf course than Bears Best. It goes through a neighborhood. It usually costs about $10 or $15 less than Bears Best, but both of them have a really nice setup. There is a country club and then a public area over here in the Arroyo and the Red Rock Country Club in here. Most of the courses in town that were private have all become public courses or semi-public courses because they really just couldn't keep themselves alive based on the economy when everything tanked, and that's why you have so many nice golf courses. So the north portion of Arroyo, that's the private section, and then the south side of it is where the public plays. And they have a pretty nice facility there. I did want to show you one that you may or may not have really seen. So here's the Aliante area you're looking. Here's Summerlin. Out here, out 95 is the Paiute Resort. This is out on the reservation, and they have 54 holes out here. Very affordable. Locals are 55 to 65. The Wolf is one of the three, and it's got a little island green and everything out there. It's really nice. This place does get really windy because it's out kind of in the middle, right up against the mountains. But 54 holes. The Wolf is one of those top 50 U.S. golf courses type place, and you can play it for 55 bucks, generally speaking, during the right time of the year. This one has a very, very good system where I want to say it's 6,000 for unlimited golf for the year. The clubhouse is quite nice. It looks out. Right here's the big window where you eat and look out directly, basically at the mountains. Here's a quick picture of it. That's the view from the grill, and it is quite nice looking out to the east. Like I said, the one bad thing is the wind comes through here. So if it's a windy day in town, it's probably not a place that you're gonna want to go play. And then those are basically your two main areas. One thing I wanted to tell you, no matter which one of these places you live in, is that 215, or if you live in Aliante and you want to go play down in Summerlin, you go down 215, which is all a highway, connect down to the 95 interstate and then out Summerlin Parkway. You can get to over here in 20 minutes from Aliante, but then you don't have to pay quite as much for the place that you're living out in that area. It is definitely more convenient though if you're trying to be able to drive quickly up to a place to practice. And then, like I said, Paiute's one of the best values out there out to the northwest. And then sometime later, when we talk later, I'll show you some of the stuff that's down here on the other side of town in Henderson. Out at the lake, there's some ways you can play some of the private courses that are out here that I'll show you. And then Henderson is over here on the southeast side of town. You'll definitely want to end up playing Rio Seco at some point. And then you have two private clubs that you can't really get into. And then Lake Las Vegas out to the east has two courses down here. One being private, that's South Shore, which is really nice. It's up in the mountains, and so you get to see a bunch of stuff up there. That used to be a place that was $100,000 down to get into, and then it went out of business and became a course that can be played if you actually stay at the Westin over here. And then Reflections Bay goes right along the water also, which is kind of cool. Anyways, hope that gets you kind of going in the right direction. It'll give you a little chance to look around town, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye.